All right, team, we are back with another episode. And as you always know, we go from broke to woke. There's always two sides of the coin. There's actually three sides of the coin. We're going to talk about that third side in this exact episode. What do you do after you rebalance and rejuvenate and restructure? What did we do and how do we do it? That's what we're talking about in this episode.
Jeremy, you just shared quite the story and quite the journey. And I was thinking about it just because we both were wearing our cry shirts on in the last podcast.
We did.
What going through that did for you as a person, because I think that when you overcome something, you now have a grace to be able to help others through it, as well as you have the grace for expansion, depending on how you go through it. I mean, you can get crushed under that pressure, or you can rise and be entrusted with more because you didn't quit. I'm looking across the table at you, knowing you didn't quit. So what happens from there? What did you use that experience to go build?
Right. I like what you said the about the breaking down part. Like if you do and you're able to go forward and not just kind of give up and fold under pressure. Most people when they fold, it's an amount of time usually. Like you can always have these times where you just fold. You feel like giving in, sleeping on a Saturday and just don't wake up kind of situation. Like that's acceptable. You can have situations like that. But for me, what I ended up doing after we talked about the healing and the going through the meditations and the going through the videos on YouTube and the books and the therapists and just really talking and expressing emotions really for the first time and really pouring into all of that part of my life and healing from the inside out. I was like, okay, cool. I feel better about this. Step one was share it with a lot of people and figure out how they've had similar situations in their life so that you can, like you said, serve and pour into them, give something into them, really make them feel like they're not alone. That's big. So similar to what you did, when you go through a really traumatic experience, reach back and pull someone else out so you can go, okay, this does work. It is working. I'm working. Mm-hmm. Makes you feel good. And you go, you know what? I did go through all this pain for a reason. So let me now figure out the reason that I am here, that I want to do this. I want to continue striving and pushing forward. And with that, I kind of started revitalizing and revamping my mission of trading and the company and focusing on a lot of educational concepts, products, different avenues, different courses, different websites, figuring out how I can kind of improve the overall quality of real life trading. Because at this point in my company, we did what we needed to do to survive. And it was just a lot of surviving. The company was a lot of survive. Like it was tough. I mean, the stock market and stock market education, but really just the stock market in general is one of the most competitive industries in the world.
Right.
So is real estate. So hooray for us. Like we choose to have...
Let's pick the hardest ones.
Exactly. We picked one of the hardest ones accidentally in a way to kind of fulfill our missions and what we're really good at and what we really enjoy. And I had two business partners. I talked about that earlier. I gave them equity in the company. So I decided to buy those business partners out so that I own 100% of the company. That was a decision that I just felt like if we're starting one thing over, I love to tell people, try to figure out how many things you can start over. Because if you rip off a massive Band-Aid, either unintentionally or unintentionally, right? I mean, a death in the family, a divorce, something that's just terrifying and frustrating and scary and worrisome. Maybe you got fired from your job if you're listening to this, or you're about to get fired from your job, or something either good or bad happens. Use that momentum to just go, I'm just going to keep doing all of it. I just got a new wardrobe. Like I donated to Goodwill a lot of my clothes. Just got new people on board, got new people to come and help me and just reached out. And from a place of vulnerability, really just ask for help.
Wow.
Where I reach out to people that I know are skilled, I know have really, really valuable talents and go, here's my mission. This is what I want to do. I really want to enrich lives. I want to change the top 1% of the world into the top 2%. Because people always mention the top 1% hold all the wealth.
Right.
The top 1% are wealthy. They control all the money flow. They're doing this. They're doing that. And regardless if that's true or not, I'm not going to argue or belabor that point. I'm simply saying I think mathematically I can have a shift in that. I think I have the ability to teach enough people where they have to change all the headlines and all the news articles, and now it has to be the top 2%.
Wow. I love that.
I think I could do that.
I think you can.
Right. And so you've mentioned, and me and I've talked about that before, is I'll focus on this and you focus on this massive amount of people who can increase. And I'll focus on the big class over here that can slowly increase.
All that matters is we tag team it.
We tag team it.
For good.
That's it. And so that's a force, that is a force for good. That's a way to figure out and understand how to help people transform their mind, transform their money, transform their relationship with their creator, their husband or wife, their family. You have to have really strong relationships. And bottom line, it was through that vulnerability, through really opening up and sharing with people my turmoil, my frustrations, my goals, and my aspirations, that I was able to tell people, these are the things I need help with. How can you help me? I would love for you to assist.
I've got a quick question on that.
Okay.
So when you were that vulnerable and sharing with them, did you find people were like, oh, I don't want to touch that?
For me, no.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, no. I think they realized that I was coming from a humble place, and it kind of happened. It was a spot that I had already done a lot, and so they've seen this track record, they've seen a progress. What a lot of people do is they'll share that vulnerability too early. You know, they'll just start their business, and then they'll go, here's all of my problems. You know, they'll just share every single thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the right time to do it, because then you're just complaining like everyone else.
Right.
You know, at some point, if you're going to share that and get a lot of people to help you and have you propel your journey forward, you should build some type of track record. You should have some type of infrastructure down where you've done a lot of work, you've put in a lot of time, and then just open up and just be honest with a lot of people. And some people definitely will say, I don't want to be a part of that. And so that was relationships that I was in where it's like, nope. Or from some family members where it was too hard. So they're like, nah. You know, but a lot of people that I was friends with during the time, or business associates or partners with, they thought and they felt, and they kind of synced up, and they just felt that I was real and I really wanted to assist. And I'm absolutely here to make an impact on this world and genuinely help as many people as I can understand this financial component that holds them back, get past these hurdles.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I've met a lot of the people and personally know several people whose lives have been changed by what you've built. And I'm just so grateful that you didn't give up. Yeah. You know, I want people to hear this. If you give up, so many people will suffer. If you give up the one gift that you were given to bring to the world, and nobody else can, in the way in which you are called to release that gift, there's so many people who won't benefit. So if you're not strong enough to overcome whatever you're dealing with for yourself, I want you to think through, what are the top 5 worst things that could possibly happen on earth if I don't go for it?
Wow.
And put them on your freaking mirror.
Yeah.
And hold that responsibility. It's not about operating from a place of burden, but it's recognizing the responsibility that comes with the gift inside you. And you use it as a motivator. I don't know if this is your thing, but it was mine. And I know a lot of women deal with this too, where, you know, we won't defend ourselves, but we'll defend our kids.
Sure.
You better not mess with the kids, or you better not mess with our loved ones. And so for me, I never wanted anything or the fame or any of that stuff for myself enough. I just am happy without that stuff. And so it's been really key to my success to understand that I can do something about these atrocities in the world. I can help these people, and then have to remind myself. One of the things that I've really struggled with was being willing to be on camera.
Yeah.
Being willing to speak up, being willing to be a voice. Why? Not perfect, don't have it all figured out. I've had a track record of things not going perfect, and like, who am I to be an example of blah, blah, blah. And I had 4 girls working for me at the time in this one specific company, and they were all in their like young 20s, and they made that list because they've seen me do it for other people. What are the top 5 worst things that happen if you don't do it? And so it's, Britnie, if you engage in the insecurity of not being willing to share, these are the worst things that can happen. And they taped it to my desk. And they also made a list on what are the best things that can happen. So I want you to have both. What are the top 5 best things? What are the top 5 worst things that happen if you don't?
Now, those 5 things, are they big picture generally, or are they literal?
They're big. No, they're big. Okay, it's like
they're the big ones. They're the big ones.
Racism is at an all-time high. Human trafficking doubled. Like all the things that I stand against would be at its worst.
Gotcha.
Because I never
That's fun.
did it. I hid.
I like that. And I think that's a really, I use a similar principle on a smaller, more granular scale, because that's just how I think a lot of times when it comes to like overcoming a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wrote down those 5 things, like the worst 5 things that could happen, they would all be someone laughs at you. Or you stumble over your words and you have to edit that part out. Or you don't know what to say and you have to think through what you should say. Or you have to memorize a script to become a little bit more proficient in how you speak. Things like that.
That's interesting.
Where a lot of people, they will have those situations where there's like, you should do this, and like, why won't you? For me, it's like, you should do this, and if you don't, if you do it, and here's what happens. These are the worst outcomes possible, and they're generally not that bad. Most people have these crazy unimagined fears. It's like, would that really happen though? Like if you trade the stock market, are you going to really lose all of your money?
Right.
You could lose some, but you're going to lose all of it. And they go, oh yeah, I'm going to blow up my whole account. Oh, so your account, that's all the money you have.
Ooh.
And they go, no. I mean, I have other money. It's like, oh, okay. So you're saying that losing this account would be the worst thing you could possibly imagine. And they go, well, not technically. It's like, well, exactly.
Right.
So I think that's really smart to sit down and write that. But then have those dreams. Okay, here's the things that can happen that are bad, or here's the things that will happen if you don't do it. But what if you do?
Right.
Give me some of those examples. Give me a good scenario, and then give me some great scenarios in there. Give me 3 that are okay, and 2 that are amazing. Like, what if you actually get best case scenario? What would that look like?
I think the concept that we're both talking about of having the good scenarios in front of you and the bad scenarios are you're tapping into the drivers.
Bingo.
Which is the pain or pleasure.
Yep.
If the pleasure's not enough for you, which you may not care enough to want more for yourself, then maybe the pain's enough to motivate you. And it's not, again, it's the essence of your being where you're driven by pain, but it's like, I really don't want to die, and no, I could have done something about that, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
I was too tired. I was too lazy. I was too scared of the things and the pieces I didn't take 5 minutes to freaking map out. What I realized, because I coach people now.
Yeah.
Literally having a whiteboard.
And you're amazing at it.
Oh, man. Thank you. You start at the end. This is what we want to have true at the end of our life or at the end of this initiative. All right. If you were to make it up out of your butt to go from where we are today just to there, what are the potential pieces? You don't have to know all of it, but it would need to be things like, well, we would need to have this in place. We need to have this in place, this. And then you fill in the blank after you start Googling the answers. It's not hard.
Just Google it, guys.
Create a mind map.
Yeah.
This is the potential steps. And then once you actually even map out the steps, your brain goes to work for you. Your subconscious goes to work for you.
Even when you're sleeping. And a lot of people don't realize that because they think, oh, I have to have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. No one does. It's okay. Just go sleep on it. Think about it, because you'll randomly have that, shoot, I should do that, because your subconscious is going to help you out.
And I'm not a fan of just throwing the end out there only.
No.
I love the adventure of that.
Yep.
But I found it to get there faster if you take 1 to 5 minutes and map out the potential steps.
Yeah.
Your best guess at the steps.
Yeah.
They're likely going to change, but at least it will bring up a conversation with a stranger that has an answer.
Correct.
Have you seen that happen a lot?
Yes, that's the big one. Where
crazy.
You'll have the step 3. You're like, I have no idea how I'm going to do step 3. And then someone's going to ask you at a dinner party, hey, so what's something that you're struggling with randomly? And you go, well, it's kind of crazy. I've been trying to figure out if I should do this corporation over here or if I should do it over here. And because if that corporation's over there, then I can actually branch over there. And then they're going to go, oh, that's crazy. I know this really great accountant who's great at Delaware taxes. And then bloop, they're good to go, and you link up with that person. They actually can solve all of your problems. Like, I've seen that happen so many times in my life.
It's amazing.
Because you just mention it. It's on your mind, and you kind of talk about it. A lot of people will be afraid to do that because they go, oh, it's complaining. It's complaining if you aren't looking for an answer.
Right.
If you were just saying, these are all the problems I'm having, then That's complaining. If you go, these are some of the challenges I'm having. I'm sure I know there's an answer somewhere. These are things I've come up with so far.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not a complaint, right? Now I'm looking through a solution. I'm trying to find out the challenge, the hurdle that I need to overcome.
That's smart. So I want to hear your evil genius plan.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
is the long-term vision of your company? I'm hearing a piece, which is I want to make the 1% 2%.
Yep.
So what's your best guess on how you're going to do that?
Yeah.
/ what are your current plans?
Great question. So my current plans and the way I would like to do that is I'm going to have a lot of different branches of real life trading. So real life trading is going to initially at some point become a world brand, global brand, where we have offices in every single country. So real life trading UK is underway. That's already being formed.
Nice.
Real life trading Australia is fully up and running. It's kicking butt. Real life trading India, real life trading Germany, right? All the countries in Germany, or Europe. So you have Germany, Poland. Right? They speak two totally different languages.
Wow.
Real life trading Italy, real life trading Spain, real life trading Portugal, real life trading Brazil, and just have a bunch of different people that are giving instruction that are able to speak in that language, that are able to deal with that market. Because other countries have their own stock market. They have their own companies. They have their own brands. They have their own lingo and the things that they say. And at that point in time, once we have those offices created, then we're also going to have stations here in the United States where we work directly with the educational system. Because I know if I can change the educational system in the United States,
Yes.
I can slowly start branching
We better
that.
freaking tag team that.
We're going to.
We have to.
I'm very close, per my boy John Guyton. I'm going to give him a shout out. He's trying to hook me up with John Hope Bryant, who's one of my big guys. I would love to speak to John Hope Bryant. I mean, he worked with Obama on the education reform. He was there. He was on the board. He spoke with Obama weekly on these things.
Wow.
Written 3 books, phenomenal guy. Follow him on Instagram. Bottom line is I'm going to be connecting with John Hope Bryant and trying to get these ideas and concepts into our school system. So if someone's in 9th grade or 3rd grade and they're going to go through Stocks 101, Finances 101, Investing 101, whatever that looks like, the material they're going to be going through is real life trading material.
I love it.
And it's going to be information that I and my team and my phenomenal followers and people who have helped me build quizzes and maps and notebooks and just really get that information out there.
It's going to be huge.
Those are going to be some of the small stepping stones, but I already know the map. I know the people that are there. I know where it needs to go. And once I start getting that instilled into the actual school system, and we can do it in America, then that becomes the basis and the center point, the focal point for other countries. It's going to tear it up.
In the next episode, I'm going to ask you why.
I'll answer it then.
There's so many things you can care about in this world.
Yeah.
Why that?
Okay.
Next episode coming at you
right now.
Thank you for watching From Broke to Woke with Britnie Turner and Jerremy Alexander Newsome. We have loved this journey with you. We want to help you go from broke to woke, understanding your purpose in life and really walking in the fullness of your potential. If you want to connect with us more, go to gforcemastermind.com. You can come on vacations with us. You can connect with us as people. You can find more resources for learning. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, go to gforcemastermind. We'll see you there.